Well, it looks like it's the three of us today, so welcome. We may as well get started here. Do either of you guys have questions that I can address specifically?
The thing didn't appear for me and then it did, so thank you for that.
Yeah.
So I'm good now, so if the other person had a question, he can go.
Okay, awesome.
So I'm pretty well on the course material and with your video, the video lecture. But first two chapters, I got some no questions about that, and I like to do well on the quiz. So
Yep.
I thought if you have something to say in this Zoom period, I can just join to listen.
Sure.
Like that.
Okay. Yeah, no, that's awesome. That's awesome. I just, especially since it's such a small, intimate group, in case there's something I could deal with you specifically, I would do that. But I do have a couple comments and I will go through those. I do see that both you are doing absolutely fantastic in your marks coming through. So yeah, that's great. What I'm seeing is declining numbers of people attending. Hopefully people will look at the recording and it's just more convenient for them to watch the recording of this. And that's fine by me. I'm just trying to offer multiple different avenues to communicate the course to people. I know it takes a lot of discipline and it's kind of a different approach to be watching pre-recorded lectures. And I just want to be able to supplement those if there's need be, but I see that you guys are doing well. So I'm happy to see that. So I'll get on with my comments and this is not directed at you two because you're in great shape, but it's for people that will watch this as a recording later. Most of the class has completed their academic integrity module and their course requirement. So that's good. That means that the quizzes are available to almost everyone in the class. There are certainly some people out there that cannot do the quizzes and probably in the next week or two will figure out that they've missed that many quizzes, but there's really nothing I can do about that at this point. So I'm available by the discussion group. I'm available by email. And of course, you can always attend the Zoom meeting at 5 o'clock on Mondays. So I also see, and I didn't check for the two people attending, whether you'd chosen your term paper topic. I would encourage everyone to start doing that. It's easier to spread it out over a longer period of time. And it's not that it's incredibly long. It's only 1,500 words, I think, but I'm looking for a really top quality submission. I'm looking for something that's obviously been edited a couple times, that is 1,500 quality words, not a bunch of filler and fluff and unsupported statements. So it's probably, if I was doing it and I was looking to get as good a mark as possible, the first thing that I would do would be to watch the videos that were provided first of all, for APA to see how that formatting works if you're not 100% familiar. And the reason is there's a significant amount of the mark that's dedicated to proper citations and references. So just to be clear, I've had this question a couple times. I am looking not for 10 citations, but for 10 references. So at the bottom, I'm looking for 10 different sources, at least for the paper, and you may cite them more than once. So it'll be at least 10 citations in the body of the paper. So you might use a source 3 or 4 times. You might have 25 citations from your 10 or more references. So that's the expectation there. The other thing that I would do is I would watch the video that was prepared here at Trent for editing and how to approach editing a term paper like this, because it's excellent. There's some really, really good, strong suggestions that will improve your writing style and help you out for the rest of your university career, but it'll also help you to get a really good mark in the paper here. Paper is worth 25% of the final, so it's a very significant chunk of the course. So, spend the kind of time that 25% of your mark justifies. Okay, so yeah, that's if you haven't chosen a term paper, I would take a look at the 10 possibilities, see what appealed to me. If I was doing it again, what I would be doing is I would be using Google Scholar or something similar to see which ones of those topics I can find lots of material on. First of all, I'd want to be interested in it, but if I was deciding between a few, I'd look for the one that had the most source documents, the most amount of analysis to make it easier. I would hate to get a paper that I was writing and find out I was struggling to get 5 or 6 references for that paper. So that's my hint there. But other than that, I don't really think I have anything to particularly talk about. We've got week 3 is very similar to the previous weeks in that we're looking at reading chapter 3 of the text, watching the video lecture, watch the miscellaneous videos, and doing the chapter 3 quiz. So that's all that we've got going on this week here. So, and that's pretty much a rinse and repeat. Most weeks are going to be like that until we get into the weeks where the term paper is due, or until we're doing the midterm or the final. So it's a pretty standard week around here for this course. So any further questions, guys, that you want to address?
I have a little question about the chapter quiz or the midterm exam.
Sure.
In the syllabus, it mentions that it's not only include the multiple choice question, but also the the short answer questions.
That's right.
But about last 2 weeks quizzes, I didn't see any short answers questions. So
That's right.
I don't know how does it look like, or
Sure.
how long should we ask it for?
Okay, great question. So the quizzes are going to be just the way they are. They're going to be exactly that, from different pools of questions for each chapter as we go along. So your quizzes aren't going to change. You're entirely right that your midterm and your final include some short answer questions. Those will be just, I'll call them essay form, but they're not, they can be answered in point form as easily. You don't have to make formal sentences or anything like that. They will be, if you were to look at your chapter goals, each chapter, so there's always at the beginning of the chapter, they talk about what that chapter is about. And there's usually, I'm going to say 3 to 5 deliverables that you want to, by the time you're done reading the chapter, once you've understood the material, that you should be able to answer. Those are where the short answer questions come from. That's where they'll be derived from. So bear with me a second and I'll look at the current chapter here. It may take me a second to get to it. And you know what? I think I write them out for you. Yeah, so the learning outcomes, when you look at in assessments tools, chapter 3, course content, chapter 3, I've written out learning outcomes. So for chapter 3, it's describe how changes in businesses' competitive landscape influence changing IS infrastructure needs. That's the first one. There's 3 more. Those are the kinds of things that I would ask in a short answer question. It might not be exactly that, but it could be.
Okay, I see.
So that's how I would prepare for those. I would make sure that I could answer all those questions. That's not to say there'll only be those, but that will get you in the right mindset to prepare for the short answer. And like I said, I don't I'm very tough on good grammar and spelling and all that kind of stuff for the term paper. When it comes to exams, I encourage students to do point form. It's easiest for me to read and mark, and it's faster for you guys instead of having to worry about putting full paragraphs and full sentences and things like that together.
Yeah, I see.
Okay?
Yeah.
All right. Anything else of concern or thoughts or comments?
And we can write however much we want in the midterm or the short answer part.
Sorry, say that one more time. You broke up.
Like, how many words do you want it for the midterm?
So usually, and I'm usually looking for about 5 points in the short answer. Sometimes I'll say list 6 things, or I'll say describe 3 things. You know, then if I use the word describe in a question, it means list it and then explain each one. Okay. If it just says list, don't bother telling me what it's about. Just give me a list. Okay. So that's kind of the guidelines for those sorts of answers. But I usually look at them and I don't remember, quite honestly, whether they're 5 or 10 marks, but I'm usually looking for about 5 solid points for that. Okay.
Oh, got it.
Okay. Excellent. Well, if you guys don't have additional questions, you may as well get on with your evening. If you do think of something, please send me an email, or I'll stick around for a few minutes here while you're here. But if there's no questions, I'll wrap it up in about 5 minutes. Okay.
Okay, good evening.
Yeah, you as well. Take care.
Yeah.
Thank you, sir. Bye.
Take care. Have a good night.